Welcome back to Black News Tonight. Now, for many Black Americans, the idea of tracing your roots back more than a couple of generations, well, it's often felt like a dream because it wasn't possible for a lot of people. Of course, DNA can provide powerful clues, but a lack of documentation from errors of slavery and Jim Crow can still pose real obstacles for a lot of people. Well, there's good news. African Americans looking to fill out their family trees just got a major boost. The genealogy website Ancestry has released the world's largest collection of records from the Freemans Bureau. Now, they've made more than 3.5 million records of African American families, some going back as far as 1846, now available to everyone for free. Yes, I said F-R-E-E, my favorite word, and hopefully yours too. So here to tell us all about it and much more is our next guest, Nicka Sewell-Smith. She is a professional genealogist and ancestry consultant who says that she's obsessed with legacy and tracking down ancestors. Nicka, welcome to Black News Tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to see you.
I know, great to see you again. You have been on this mission for many years, and I am excited to talk about this new project. So talk to us about the significance of this move by Ancestry.com and also how these records will help people.
Yeah, so the Freemans Bureau is an incredible collection. It's something that I've been using for more than 14 years myself. And when I started the process, it was manual. It was literally like the old school, where you have to pull the drawer out and get the microfilm and, crank with your arm and, be in a dark environment and have the perfect circumstances for you to try and find the documents and really be relegated to a small time frame for you to have access to the records. It wasn't something that you could bring home and, at your own, leisure, look through things. And so with this release, with it being the world's largest digitized and searchable, iteration of the Freeman's Bureau, people have the ability to look through this whenever they want to. And then there's not a cost barrier associated with it either. You can look at it for free. All you need is a free guest registered account on Ancestry. And these records are incredible. What you're looking at, are records from a critical time span. A lot of folks, especially during the pandemic, have really made efforts to try and trace their family history, something that they had been talking about doing for an extended period of time. And they just never got around to doing it until we were all at home. And, people were just thinking about all the things that they wanted to do. And so a lot of folks have garnered interest, but they've gotten back to about 1870 and they hit a roadblock. And a lot of times in African-American genealogy, people call that the brick wall. I like to refer to it as a speed bump, where you need a little push, from a lot of different sources, right? It could be records access. It could be information from a family member. It could be, just knowing how to search through records. But in order to get over that speed bump, you need something critical. And the Freeman's Bureau is one of those things that can help us get over that time, that block. And it covers the time period primarily from 1865 to 1872. But there are areas in the country that predate that, meaning that the records start during the Civil War. And what you're seeing is the War Department going across the country, primarily in 15 states, and they are trying to help stabilize the country. They are doing things like providing and overseeing labor contracts between landowners and those who were formerly enslaved. And in a lot of instances, those landowners were the former slaveholders of those who are working for them. Or those landowners could be people who came from other parts of the country, like the North and the Midwest, to lease land from the government that had been abandoned because folks left the area during the Civil War. Right. So that's but one function that the Freeman's Bureau have.
And that's why it's such an important resource for Black people trying to trace their families, because for so many years they weren't unable to. They hit that bump. You got the speed bump. They hit that. But talk to us a little bit about what the Freeman's Bureau is and how they even got all of this documentation together.
Right. So the Freedmen's Bureau was started by, it was authorized by Congress in March of 1865, although an iteration of it existed before that in different forms in different states. And so it was really one of the first social service programs that we have that you see, because I just talked about labor contracts. They issued rations and clothing to people. They had schools. In fact, you talk about Howard University. Howard University is actually named after O.O. Howard, who was over the Freedmen's Bureau. Now internationally. They operated hospitals. Howard Hospital was a Freedmen's Bureau hospital. You have other institutions that are HBCUs that literally began not as Freedmen's Bureau schools, but as funding sources, getting funding from the Freedmen's Bureau. You have marriages that they were over, meaning those who were formerly enslaved who wanted to get married, they could go to the Freedmen's Bureau and solemnize their marriage. You also have contraband camps. When you hear that word, it's like, well, what do you mean contraband? Well, formerly enslaved people fled from their slaveholders, and they would start to follow the Union troops. And in doing so, they would form these camps. And a lot of times the Freedmen's Bureau would disperse services through those camps. You have to think about the name. The official name is the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands. And the refugees could be poor whites, or they could be free people of color. The freedmen were, of course, the formerly enslaved, and then the abandoned lands. And so you also had operations like courts, where there were states where Black people could not testify against white people. You have proceedings that the Freedmen's Bureau was over that you can find the documents for those things there. Transportation. Let's say you have an ancestor that you have documented in Mississippi and they're born in North Carolina, and you've been trying to find who the slaveholder was and you have no leads. There's a possibility that the Freedmen's Bureau paid to send that individual or a family from North Carolina after the war to Mississippi because there was land that needed to be farmed. That's how widespread this organization was. Wow. And the records were gathered up at the time by the National Archives, and that's really who kind of had to corral it, because it's a lot.
And that's why these records are so important, because it is a lot. And I think a lot of people think, oh, well, we have the DNA test, I'll just do that. But that doesn't really replace the historical records. So talk to us about how the two can work together, both the DNA and the historical records.
Right. So I always remind people, you don't have DNA without genealogy, and you don't have genealogy without DNA. They work hand in hand. The paper trail gets solidified by the DNA confirming, the connections to individuals, whereas the paper trail itself, right, it's like they cross each other, like they're holding hands walking down the street. And so a lot of times, especially when you talk about the matching, right, where you're trying to figure out how you're related to other people, you don't really have the hard proof until you can get those documents. And in some instances, especially when we're talking about this crucial time span, some of those ancestors did not live to be recorded on the census as free people. So for us to have the ability to find them in records before the 1870 census, but as free people, right? This may be the only time they're recorded. There are people that I see getting rations at 100 years old in 1867. Where else are they going to be documented in records before that time span? And with DNA, you're getting a region, and in some instances, when you're talking about communities like on Ancestry, where it can drill down to a county or a specific set of states, it's pinpointing, right, which is great, but you want to get that day-to-day, level of granularity that you cannot get from a marriage license sometimes, or even a birth certificate or a death certificate. What was going on in the community? What were relations like between these two sets of folks, who were, non-paid employee and an employer or slaveholder, right? Like, what was that like? What were the conditions like? What can you read in this collection beyond, like, oh my gosh, people advocating for their own autonomy? What do I want to be paid? Who do I want to work for? Can I complain to someone when I'm being mistreated by my employer, or when they're not meeting the terms of the contract? Even children being apprenticed out because their parents cannot be, they can't take care of them, or the community has deemed their parents unfit. Yeah. And so all of this is within the records.
Now, Nicka, we're almost out of time, but I definitely want to encourage people to go to your web series called Black Pro Gen Live. I mean, you talk about so many things in there about genealogy, helping other people find out their genealogy, and then Trash 250 multimedia at this event you have this on there as well. And you also talk about finding links to, like, 5,400 other relatives, as well as a connection between a slave fugitive in your family and Andrew Jackson, President Jackson. What do you say to those people who are digging through all this information? They don't know how to compartmentalize all the stuff they're getting, that they have slaves in their family, that they have white ancestors, maybe presidents in their family, and different things like this. How do they deal with the emotional impact of all the information that they're finding within their family?
Well, actually this morning I was thinking about this, and I think a lot of times people stray away from this time span because, in some ways, emotionally for us, we're going back on the cotton field
It's
or
hard.
back into the house when we're
Yeah.
having to do this. And so you have to really pace yourself. Give yourself the time and the space to be able to work through this. Maybe have a
Mhm.
research partner, someone that you can talk to as you discover things, and find someone in your family who's just as interested in it as you are. There are plenty of ways on social media to connect with folks. I'm there. There's more than just me that's there. There are groups on different sites where you can reach out to folks to get help and tips and just emote. You know, give yourself the space to feel the emotions that our ancestors were not really allowed to feel openly, and also really arm your family with the ability to move forward with the knowledge of what happened during that time span, so that no one can tell you who you are. You
Mm.
know who you are. You have it within your heart, and a lot of times the information has always been there. You just need a document or a little piece of information to bring it out for you.
Yeah, and if you do the research, you might find out you're not who you thought you were before doing the research. So there's a lot to discover. All right.
That's true too.
There you go. Thank you so much for this fascinating conversation, Nicka. We appreciate it. And we want to hear from you all. Join the conversation. Tell us if you've researched your family and if you'll use this Ancestry.com platform. Head over to our website, bnc.tv, and then our Instagram and Twitter pages as well. And of course, you can always subscribe to our YouTube page to check out clips from the show.